this is a cocktail of two major turmoils. If your neighborhood is burning, you will get both heat and smoke. Political system was not responding to the needs of the people, and
Okay,
therefore
sir.
they will try and find out their solutions elsewhere. Look, Nepal's history is full of revolts and people's uprisings. This is not for the first time. All over the world, the monarchies are being pushed away. Even in Thailand, they are pushed away unless it's like British monarchy, which does not interfere in politics at all. I don't see any tears being shed in New Delhi. That's why Oli has gone out.
Good morning. My name is Uzma Parveen, and today we have Professor SDMuni with us. Sir is an expert on South Asian studies and has also served in academia for over 40 years while teaching in various universities, including JNU and University of Singapore, University of Rajasthan, and BHU also. Sir has been bestowed upon by the Sri Lankan government with Sri Lanka Ratna Award. So, sir, I welcome you today. It's an honor for us. So, sir, first of all, I would like to start with a very general question. The things which are happening in Nepal, the political crisis in Nepal. So, how do you see it? What is your view on that situation?
Well, I think this is a cocktail of two major turmoils or development. One is, of course, internal to Nepal, where people were very unhappy for a long time with the government, which was inefficient, which was corrupt, which indulged in nepotism. The leaders made money for themselves and did not bother about the welfare of the people. Politically, I think almost all the parties internally divided. The leadership has been questioned, but unfortunately, only three leaders were circulating themselves on the chair of prime minister as a musical chair, and there was no progress within the party. So there were a lot of resentment inside Nepal, both politically, socially, economically. Young people were not getting economic opportunities, no employment opportunity for them. They had to go and serve outside. And I think government encouraged it because remittances helped almost 26 to 33% of the GDP. And the government wanted people to go and send money so that they could manage their economy. They had almost a vested interest in that rather than providing people opportunities at home. So the domestic situation was very troublesome from all aspects. But regionally and internationally also, Nepal, like other India's neighbors, Sri Lanka and Bangladesh, were caught in two rivalries. One is between, both are geopolitical. One is between China and the United States in the whole of Asia Pacific, Indo Pacific, whatever you call it. And the second is between India and China, is a question of influence in South Asia. And all these smaller neighbors of India are caught between these two rivalries. So you find that everywhere, like in Bangladesh, in Sri Lanka, US had played a important role in removing the governments which were seen to be closer to China. And this is a reality which is also true in case of Nepal, because this government is also considered both by India and the US as being closer to China. And it's a Communist Party led government, though Nepali Congress is a part of coalition. But this is what the impression is. So you find that there is a regional context also for what has happened in Nepal, what has happened in Sri Lanka, and what has happened in Bangladesh. So we must understand this in a broader perspective, that it is a cocktail, very explosive cocktail of the internal developments and regional rivalries. And it is a mix of these two which has precipitated all the crises in all other countries around India.
Yes, sir. So, sir, on social media, we can see the views of Nepalese people. So they have expressed that the democracy is not functioning, was not functioning in Nepal at all. And when people used to get any problem, instead of going to police, they used to resort to the self justice or the mob-based justice. So how do you see this claim?
Well, I have described to you broadly that the political system was not responding to the needs of the people. And
Okay,
therefore,
sir.
they will try and find out their solutions elsewhere. Look, Nepal's history is full of revolts and people's uprisings. This is not for the first time, but though this is unprecedented in many ways, but people have risen against the state in Nepal, the government in Nepal, at least since 1950 regularly. They threw away the Rana system, then they had a struggle against an autocratic monarchy. Then they brought about republic in 2006, 2008. And now there is a revolt against the republic also. So, people have been frustrated and they find different, they go to the courts is one thing, but when even that, courts are also politicized in all the South Asian countries, not only in Nepal, but you see it in Bangladesh, you see it in Sri Lanka. There are such allegations even in India that sometimes courts are being influenced by the government or by the rulers. So there are problems. And if problems arise, then you can push human beings to some extent, and then they react and revolt. So this is what it has happened.
Okay, sir. So, sir, how do you see the future of Nepal's politics in coming days or weeks or months?
Well, I think Nepal will remain democratic. I have absolutely no doubt about that. There are interests and there are forces which want to bring back monarchy, which are in favor of royalty, and they say the present crisis would be solved by royalty. To my mind, this doesn't seem practically possible for one or two reasons. Because Nepal was ruled by monarchy for 250 years. And if monarchy can deliver to the people, then the revolts would not have taken place. Even the Maoist revolution or Maoist insurgency, which rose up, was largely because people felt very, very unsatisfied and frustrated. That's why they joined the Maoist revolution, and that's why monarchy was thrown away. So if monarchy can deliver, and look at the character of the monarchy. I mean, they had a palace massacre in which the entire king and his family was eliminated, and nobody knows how it has happened. There has been no investigation, no inquiry as to how actually this happened. What is being said as a kind of accident by one prince is not very convincing. So there is a problem with monarchy, and you cannot have all over the world, the monarchies are being pushed away. Even in Thailand, they are pushed away unless it's like British monarchy, which does not interfere in politics at all. So I don't think it has a prospect. Therefore, it will remain democratic. It will remain republic, to my mind. Whether it will be federal, how federal it would be, what kind of rights would be there, how development will take place, much depends upon the new leadership which will come up. And I think old leadership has been discredited completely. So let us see how it really emerges. But there are strong political parties. And after the interim arrangement, as and when the elections take place, we will see what really people want.
Yes, sir. So, sir, interestingly, we have seen that this revolution, the moment that happened in Nepal is characterized as Gen Z movement, or the youth-led movement. So, sir, similarly, recently we had seen or witnessed in Bangladesh also the similar kind of movement, which led to the fall of Sheikh Hasina's government. And so, sir, what these youth-led movement signifies for the democracies of South Asia?
No, no, the youths are for democracies. I mean, why? In Bangladesh, they were asking for more rights and freedom. They were asking for more opportunities. They are, the demographic change in South Asia is a very interesting development and phenomenon. We must understand where young people who are feeling frustrated want the system to change, and their whole effort is to bring about a transformation in a peaceful manner. But when it doesn't happen, when the governments do not listen to them, then they revolt, and they have energy. They are far more confident. They are more technologically savvy. They understand technologies these days. They are very smart in many ways from the older generations. And therefore, their network, now there are technologies available like I mean, 10, 15 years earlier, you did not have so much of the use of social media. Now, social media has become a big factor. Facebook, WhatsApp, Instagram, all kind of TikTok, whatever you have. So I think under these circumstances, the value and importance of youth cannot be undermined in any respect. They have energy also, and they are more risk-taking people. Older people don't take risk. The youth
Exactly.
takes risk. Therefore, they are leading these movements. But the frustration and disenchantment is widespread. Even all other citizens above 40, above 50, they are also frustrated. They cannot act. Therefore, the youngsters come in the forefront. But in all these three countries, if you see, the movement has a huge public support. And the youth
Yes, sir.
population is also much larger than what it used to be earlier. So they have to play a very significant role, very, very constructive role.
As you also mentioned the role of US, I mean, there are conspiracy theories are circulating that had been the role of US, or some people are saying the role of China in this political crisis. So, how do you see this? The role of China, especially?
I have told you in my very first comment that
Yes,
all three governments were considered as pro-China.
yes, sir.
Hasina was considered, India did not consider Hasina as pro-China, but America
Yes,
did. America did not want Hasina to be there. America did not want Rajapaksa to be there. India also did not want Rajapaksa to be there. They were seen as pro-China. And the same situation about Oli government. Oli was seen as being pro-China. So this is related to the geopolitical rivalry, that they want a government which is more sympathetic and which is more distanced from China and more sympathetic to them. I should not hesitate in saying that India has blessed the change in Sri Lanka. Indian and American interest clashed only in Bangladesh.
yes,
And in case of Nepal also, I don't see any tears being shed in New Delhi. That why Oli has gone out. So you see a convergence of interest in two out of the three cases, and what you see that the dislike for any government which is any leadership which is tilting towards China. So there is a geopolitical angle, and obviously the intelligence agencies are working, the finances are working in various ways. I mean, we don't have time to go into details for each and every country. It is not clearly known in case of Nepal so far, but it's still, this whole group which has come about called Hami Nepal, etc. They are inspired by the Western values, and the rivalry between the U.S. assistance program and the Chinese assistance program under BRI was very clear in Nepal for the last uh, almost 10 years.
yes, sir. I mean, according to you, what spillover effect can this political crisis has on India?
No, no, India. See, if your neighborhood is burning, you will get both heat and smoke,
Exactly.
and you can even get that fire. So whenever there is instability in your neighborhood, you should be concerned. So far as Nepal is concerned, there are so many Indians in Nepal.
Exactly.
And some of the persons of Indian origin, which are big businesses, have been attacked there. So India has to be concerned about the stability and safety of its own people, and stability of safety of many Nepalese who are directly or indirectly related to India. They are matrimonial relations. They are family relations, they are social relations, they are cultural contexts between the two countries. So India has to be affected. Then, secondly, if there is any instability, other powers from outside may indulge in it. And India has never preferred that in the immediate neighborhood some other power becomes dominant, be it the Americans or be it the Chinese or anybody else. So that is also a fear. Therefore, India has to take cognizance of that. And I may say that in India and Nepal is concerned, even the armies have very close relations with each other. So any instability in Nepal directly affects the institutions there, and it affects India also. Therefore, India has to be very careful and ensure, which I think officially New Delhi has issued a statement that we want peace there, we want stability there, we want people to have peaceful negotiations and resolve this problem. So we are quite deeply concerned about what is happening in Nepal. We were deeply concerned about what happened in Bangladesh. We are deeply concerned about what happened in Sri Lanka.
Yes. So one last question is that so these political unrest which are unfolding in the South Asia, like in Bangladesh also it happened, and the Sri Lanka and Pakistan also. So sir, what geopolitical implications does these has for the region as a whole?
No, the reasons is instability if it is being brought about by this rivalry, and that affects the economy. So look, South Asia is a region which is the world's fastest growing region, which is the world's largest region. 1.7 billion people population, growing at the rate of 5.5%. Any political instability would affect its economy and would affect its development. So it's a serious question for South Asian countries that they should remain stable and must progress. And there is a lot of potential. We are the fastest growing economy, but the potential is much more to grow. It's not like China, which has reached a saturation point and developed in many respects, or like Europe or like America. We are still developing, and we can develop much, much faster and much, much wider. So it is a concern for South Asia that we have instability, and I think we should ensure that there is stability and progress, peace and progress.
Yes. Okay. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much for connecting with us. It's an honor, sir.
Thank
Yes, sir.
you.
Thank you so much, sir.